97 WABC.
It's not just individuals. It's a whole army of media individuals that are out for blood. They're so left, they're so in the Democrat tank that they are going to attack the president and anything Republican or anything right side in such a consistent fashion that it is an overwhelming tsunami of fake news, attack mode, with no basis. So it's not just individuals in this day and age, it's an overall movement. And the movement of the media and academia and the left and the Democrats overall is just Saul Alinsky berserk.
Well, of course, you know that voice.
I know
music.
that voice. It has a fine tone, and it is good for you.
It is. The great Ted Nugent.
There he is.
That was taken
Hallelujah.
from his
Don't
appearance.
mind the maggots, Manhattan.
His appearance yesterday on The Specialist on Fox News, where me and Bernard are going to be coming up at 5 o'clock today, talking about something that we talk about often on the Bernie and Sid Show, the media bias. So we start hour number 2 of the 3-hour Bernie and Sid Show today with the great Ted Nugent.
And Mrs. Nugent.
And the lovely Shemane
Queen
Nugent.
of the Forest.
Shemane.
Hey, guys. How are
The new book
you?
is out.
Now, guys, admit it. Is she gorgeous or what?
Yeah.
She is.
Are you kidding me?
Well,
you didn't respect me.
Hot,
we already have a problem because here I walk into a studio with 3 handsome men.
Oh, please.
And there are limp microphones.
Yeah.
Limp.
So this is
while
the
you're in
problem.
Manhattan, baby.
What's
like
going
limp
on
microphone.
here?
By the way, to which Ted says that's the first time ever somebody didn't stand up for Shemane.
Just give us a few minutes.
Okay, you got to get rolling. Okay.
You know how it goes. Anyway,
gotta warm 'em up.
Shemane has a book out, a new book, and
Killer book.
It's called 4 minutes a day. Rock and roll your way to happy, be healthier, happier, more prosperous, and live the life of your dreams by Shemane Nugent.
Yes,
Hallelujah.
thank you.
It's a fantastic book. It's a lot of advice for people out there.
Well, I wrote it because our house that was once featured on an MTV Cribs was contaminated with toxic mold between the walls. We never saw anything, but
Well,
we
killed
kept
us,
getting
yeah.
sicker and sicker.
Yeah.
We lost everything, walked away with just the clothes on our backs and got rid of those.
And a few guns.
Right.
Yeah, he kept the
Obviously.
guns.
I figured
But
that
that's
day.
why I wrote it. I thought, how can I turn this horrible tragedy into something positive?
Okay.
And so by educating the public and also using my 37 years in the fitness industry to help motivate people to get healthier and happier.
And you've written before, correct me if I'm wrong, but Kill It and Grill It,
We co-wrote that.
She was
Yeah.
the kill it part.
And
There
I
you go.
also wrote a book. I also wrote a book called Married to a Rock Star.
Oh,
but
that's
if
right.
I came out with the second volume, nobody would believe me.
Oh, really? So do it.
Too good to believe.
That's a nice tease.
Lucky you.
You're setting
Yes.
us up. Now, I saw in the book, listen, we cut right to the chase here, an episode, or a chapter, I should say, on sex.
You went right to that chapter.
You know
Did
what
you
I'm
burn
saying?
it?
He honed in
It's a
his
short-
radar.
it's a shortcoming.
Not like the microphone. It was fully erect.
So tell us about that.
Well,
I knew it.
He
Come
went
on,
right-
Ted.
Ted
Think
warned
animal.
me when we first last night. He said, "Now you know. I got to warn you about Bernie." But okay, the chapter on sex. What happened was I wrote about this, so I've got your approval, Ted.
That's true.
When Ted was getting,
Oh,
he
did
had
she?
both of his knees replaced at the same time, and it was
I'm an
just
animal.
horrific. So painful. Don't ever do that again at the same time. But
By the way, can I just stop
it
you for a
was-
second?
What?
Every time he says something funny, we're sitting very close to each other.
He
I have a
burps?
habit of doing this. No, I usually slap, kind of knock the guest next to me, and inevitably, because of where I'm sitting, I hit them right in the knee. So I've now done that twice, and I see.
I didn't feel a thing because you hit my titanium
but
knee.
I did see it kind of like move, so now it makes sense. I've now hit you twice in your bad knee. I apologize. Go ahead. I'm
I
sorry.
got a lot of metal on
What
there.
happened was he was not feeling well, and he was had the temperature in the room turned up really high.
A lot of sweat.
A lot of, like literally, like I think it was 80 degrees. So I'm trying to take care of him after the surgery and heal him, and I'm taking off layer after layer of
She
clothing,
certainly
and
was.
finally I'm walking around with just my bra.
high
Yeah.
heels. Come on, baby.
So he's in just horrible pain, and he goes, Shemane, come here, and I'm thinking, oh my God, what
Are you
what
going-
now?
All right, go
I'm
ahead.
going. It's in the
Go
book, honey.
ahead.
I talked about it.
The kids are in school. It's okay. It's okay.
So he goes.
Lots of kids.
He said, "Come here," and I said, "What? What do you need? Do you want some water? What?" And he goes, "Go get those high heels."
Oh, look at you, Ted.
It cleansed the soul.
It really does.
Yes, that was a moment. But I got to tell you, look at her. Can you imagine her
if you don't
strutting
mind,
out of the shower?
If you don't mind, yes, I am looking at her. As long as you don't mind.
Luckiest son of a bitch in America sitting
Absolutely.
right here. She's an animal. And you know the Seinfeld episode where they got all crazy because he was going to date a gymnast?
Yes.
I live with that.
Yeah.
every day.
Yeah.
It's stupid.
Well, so you what? You work in a gym? What do you do?
I've been teaching group fitness classes since 1980.
and individual fitness classes, too.
Okay.
Individual,
You
yeah.
do one-on-one.
Well, I don't do
One-on-one.
I only do one-on-one with him at the moment.
That's
but
right. So forget it, Sid.
Sick bastard.
why do you ask? No, I actually work directly for Zumba, and I traveled
you
all
do?
over the world
Oh, cool.
training instructors.
This
so.
middle-aged young lady
Yeah.
actually traveled the world to teach teenagers how to dance like an animal.
Yeah, I thought we were going to be doing salsa
Half her
here,
age.
Right? No?
Hey, now.
We're gonna bust in
No.
the motor
And if she
truck.
was on Dancing with the Stars, she'd win. I guarantee.
I think I'm
she
too old
is
for
the
that,
best
but-
dancer. She has all these like Zumba monsters and these black rhythm and blues goddesses, and she out gyrates and grinds all of them. Just watching her dance is like torture.
You know what's great about this? I'll be married 25 years coming up in June 25th.
28 for us.
You're on 28. You got 89. You got married, right? And the way you talk about her after 28 years is so nice, especially in your industry. A bunch of scumbags and
Right.
gangbangers, and you know the way
That,
you
you're
talk.
talking about my band, Sid.
Right, I know. So the way you talk about her, the 28 years, that's really nice,
Yeah.
man.
Well,
that's
I,
pretty
I-
cool.
I
It
don't
is
just
nice.
respect her, I revere her. She is my soulmate, and she's the most dangerous bow hunter in the world. When she gets out her bow and arrow, I sharpen my knife.
Well,
She's an absolute
I had
killer.
a good instructor.
Let me
so-
ask you a tough question. Let's say she wasn't this fitness instructor. She wasn't. She keeps it tight. Let's face it. If it ain't tight, it ain't right. We know that.
Amen. Hallelujah.
And let's say she didn't do that.
Uh-oh.
How would Ted Nugent feel at that
I
point?
know.
Well,
like,
first
what
of
if
all,
I gained
That's a
some
tough
weight?
question, right?
Is it- no, it's not a
He's
tough
got a
question.
lot of guns.
I put that in the stupid question category. It's like people ask me, well, if you had to decide and choose between rock and roll and hunting, which would you do? It's just there's no question. I've already chosen. I'm going to do both. She is so dedicated to health, and health manifests itself in a lean, well-toned
Yes.
body.
Yeah, yes.
I,
She-
I happen to love working out. The side effect is that it keeps me in shape.
Right.
But I, as a group fitness instructor, I love helping people. I literally get high when people come up to me and say, "Thank you, you changed my life. I was
Sure.
able to lose that baby weight or 10 pounds or whatever." And that keeps me going,
And
too.
let's keep it in context. You remember the baby boom?
Sure.
That was me.
Yeah.
More breeding has been done to my songs than any songs in the history of the world. I've outdone Motown and James Brown and Wilson Pickett. You listen to Stranglehold or Little Miss Dangerous, even Cat
Yeah.
Scratch Fever, and of
Yeah.
course the ultimate love songs, Wang Dang, Sweet Poontang. You listen to that often enough, you don't need Rhino Horn.
You don't. No.
That's right.
I'm telling you, there's something
You
really
sound like-
sexy about the music that turned me on. It still turns people's on.
Over 30
and it
million
turns her
records,
on.
right? Over 30 million?
40 million records.
40 million you sold.
Including the damn Yankee stuff. Yeah.
Right, that's right. That's
And,
right.
and you never, Ted Nugent in the studio with Bernie and Sid with his beautiful wife, Shemane, who's got a book out, 4 minutes a day, rock and roll your way to happy.
We
which
are
is
happy.
what we're talking about. Now, but you, speaking of which, Ted Nugent, you never got into that whole drug scene in the
No,
the rock.
no drugs, alcohol, tobacco, or fat girlfriends. I'm telling you, that stuff will kill you.
Fat girlfriends.
No beach sperm whales at the Ted Nugent party. No, I'm allergic to muktuk. Anybody following me out there even know what the hell I'm talking about? No, I've been clean and sober for 69 years because I watched all my bandmates lose their soul.
Yeah.
I watched my bandmates die.
Yeah.
I looked Jimi Hendrix right in the eye in 1969 and told him he was going to die. He offered me the drugs, and he was already
you there?
drooling.
Were you- what's
yeah,
that?
we did gigs together. And I told John Belushi he was going to die. He looked like an outtake from Scarface, and he couldn't believe I wouldn't snort his cocaine. I told Bon Scott he was going to die. I mean, I'm so sick and tired of this thing that Nugent doesn't party. Oh, I party, but not with intoxicants or men.
Well, hold on. But this is the only part about Ted Nugent that I don't love, okay? Because I happen to love you. I'm an addict. I've been to rehab twice.
I can fix
I've
that.
had my issues. You can't fix it.
I got brass knuckles and barbed wire. I can fix that.
But you and I.
You're not currently an addict, are you?
I'm sober and clean. Oh, come on.
Look at him.
Come
Like
on.
this.
Come
Look,
on.
he looks
I'm
like
sober
God
and clean for a long time.
God bless you, because that's more courageous than what I've done.
Well, thank you. But the rub is that, and maybe I'm putting words in your mouth that I'm wrong here, is that over the years you don't necessarily not sympathetic, don't really believe it. Because I got friends who go, "You're not an addict, you're just weak. I can do a line of cocaine and stop the next 20 years. Why do you got to do 2 8 balls in a night?" You're more that guy, right? You don't really.
I think addiction is a weakness in many ways. You got to be tough. You got to witness the evidence, the drooling, the puking, the dying, the ruined lives, the crying mothers around grave sites. And if you conduct yourself in the manner that brings this horror and broken hearts in a family's life, you've made a decision. It is a choice.
Okay.
Now, I also am sympathetic. I hold my beloved bass player, Gregor Rama, in my arms and cried my eyes out as I pulled the needle out of his vein on Long Island in 1969. I begged Bon Scott to put down the whiskey. I begged Jimi Hendrix to quit. I said, John, you got to be kidding. John Belushi, they were filming the Blues Brothers in Chicago, and he and Dan invited me to their club, and I thought I was going to jam because we're all fans of James Brown and the Blues Brothers, and Steve Cropper was there, my musical gods. You know, we all come from the altar, the celebration of American black blues and rhythm and blues, and I thought we were going to celebrate and jam. They sent a card, said, hey, Ted Nugent, come jam. Well, man, we'll play James Brown music. And I got there, and it was like a horror movie. It was dark and stunk, and the cocaine and the stumbling, and people couldn't form sentences or syllables. And
wasn't there any time
where
you
man?
Wasn't there any time, like just a little? We've talked about this before. Where you
fine
even
ass
maybe
teenagers, gorgeous girls, these cheerleaders would offer me this drugs to get high, and it would be a gateway to their twang. And I said, no, man, that's stupid. It's going to kill you. So people ask me, how do I avoid the temptations from the drugs and alcohol? And I always say, the same way I avoided the temptation to stab myself in the eyeball with an ice pick. It really looks stupid.
It could be suicidal, but there are some people who can have a few pops on a Friday night.
My sons and daughters, my family is so damn good. My band, my crew, my management, everybody in my world is just the best, most positive, hard-working people of integrity and goodwill and cockiness and generosity. And they like beer. And I had a glass of wine last night with my friends. Okay. So, absolutely.
We drink wine.
But I got to tell you, I've been in law enforcement for 34 years, and I've been on federal raids, and everybody we arrest that are ruining lives and their families are destroyed and lives are lost and destroyed, every one of them are high.
Yeah, they are.
They're all high, because getting high, you lose your sense of logic and decency, and you are more inclined to make dangerous, stupid, suicidal mistakes. Sure. So do I just condemn them? I condemn them, but I do everything I can to help.
So you Shemane, you, of course, come from the radio. You guys met, actually, in Detroit radio.
Yes.
So, and they party like maniacs, so you were not the partying type?
I never did that.
Never did any drugs?
No, that's what really impressed me about Ted is here I had to go to the rock and roll industry to find somebody who didn't drink and smoke. Wow. I was teaching 15 aerobics classes a week.
Right.
Back
I was teaching 9.
29 years ago. You were what? So, it's just interesting that I had to go to the rock and roll industry to find somebody who didn't drink or smoke.
If you were a big-time partying, drinking, and smoking, you wouldn't look like you do now. So
we like wine.
You need no more evidence than that. Like you just said, Sid, look at me. You cannot be the best that you can be drunk or stoned.
No, there's no question.
Virtually impossible.
No and by the way, you're 69 years old. You do not look 69
you
years
look
old.
Great.
Ted Nugent
looks great.
69, kicking ass.
That's what I'm saying.
The hunting lifestyle, the venison that I feed my sacred temple with, it's the most nutritious
venison,
protein in the world. That's all we eat. We only eat stuff we kill ourselves.
Sometimes a little gamey.
We know where it comes from.
A little gamey sometimes.
Depends on how you handle it.
Right?
If it tasted gamey, they got piss on the meat. I promise.
Hate to break it to you.
Gamey, to the greatest chefs in the world, is the ultimate celebration. Game is supposed to be gamey. That's what makes it so attractive. Right. Nowadays, gamey has turned into spoiled. They left it in the sun too long. They didn't clean it properly. They didn't handle it with respect. We handle all our own animals. We kill hundreds of animals every year.
Do you hunt? Have you guys ever hunted?
And fish. It's the best diet in the world.
No.
You don't have to. I got you covered.
I'm a city boy. I grew up in the Bronx, so forgive me. I have nothing against it.
Shemane, I'm Jewish. We don't trust me. We don't.
You want kosher? My bow and arrow is the ultimate kosher. I promise you that.
Listen, we're going to break in a little bit. You guys can hang around a little bit.
I'm game.
Talk
I'm
politics.
fun. I love you guys. Congratulations.
Ted came in earlier, and I met him down in the kitchen area, and he says, how you doing? All this stuff. I saw you on Fox. But I heard once you called me an asshole. And that's not true.
Good. I'm glad it's not true because that's what I heard.
Well, who said it
and
wasn't
you notice
true?
when I mentioned it, I didn't scowl. I didn't scowl at you. I just brought it up. Here's what I heard, and I'm glad you clarified.
Because it can't be true. He's a wonderful. I love him to death. A wonderful guy. A great
no
guy.
good people would ever call
and
me.
And we have a common cause. I mean, listen, I saw you at the White House a month or two ago with my girl Sarah Palin.
Yes, great woman.
We're on the same page, brother.
I know we are. I watch you on TV, and you represent truth, logic, and common sense with aplomb.
Ted Nugent. Well said, if I do say so. Thank you for that. 1-800-848-9222. Bernie and Sid in studio with Ted Nugent and his beautiful wife, Shemane, whose book is 4 Minutes a Day, Rock and Roll Your Way to Happy. And it's all about a good lifestyle. She's beautiful. The book's going to help you out, folks. They're going to stick around.
You know this one? Ted Nugent and his beautiful wife.
Can't trap beaver.
No, you can't.
Can't trap beaver.
Well, you could.
Well, you did about 28 years ago.
Snatch him, baby. I'm a snapper.
Oh,
I
you're a
snap 'em.
snapper.
I snap the beaver.
What's the difference between a snapper and a catcher, Ted?
Well, both of them eat duck chicks, and so I have to kill them all. That's a whole other story of conservation. We'll get into another time, but I don't want to upset any Manhattanites out there. Poor little babies, your sushi's not dead. Sure thing. Call 1-800-NUMBNUT, and Michael Moore will explain why personal hygiene is superfluous. Dirtbags.
But tell us how you really feel.
I know.
Don't hold back.
I have an intellectual erection. Excuse me.
So you're not going back to your apartment on Central Park West after this?
Actually, you got a squirrel overpopulation. I can fix that in about an hour. No. Brought my bow and arrow. You never had squirrel fricassee, have you?
No.
Good stuff,
No.
man. You'd be on bended knees offering me matrimony.
Are you serious?
If I cooked a limb rat for you, boy. It's awesome.
How about pigeons?
Pigeons are real good. Squab, very highly appreciated delicacy over in Europe and at our place.
Yes. I saw they eat a lot of pigeon in Spain.
Yes, indeed. We killed pigeon in Inverness up there in Scotland on the borders. But I hunt all over the world, and it's alive and well. And I got to tell you guys, walking the streets of Manhattan, people coming up to me, hey, Uncle Ted, good hunting. I watch Spirit of the Wild. Man, kill them all. Kill them and grill them. Whack them and stack them. Little gal comes up and goes, Ted Nugent, I'm so glad you're in New York. I'm buying my sister a pistol. What would you recommend?
Wow.
It's awesome.
That is
I mean,
pretty
even
cool.
the pierce-nippled goofballs at Starbucks going, hey, Nugent, I wish I had some venison, man. It's awesome. It's really, it's universal except for like loony fringe dirt balls.
I'd like to walk down 8th Avenue in Chelsea with Ted Nugent.
Oh, yeah.
Let's do it.
See what
You know, I set up a nipple piercing stand at 30 yards. I'll pierce your nipple at 30 yards.
All right, listen, let's talk about the election. Donald Trump, it was the greatest campaign ever. He's the greatest candidate and maybe the greatest president so far. Election night.
Bernard. God
the election
bless
night
you.
was watching the CNN, MSNBC they were watching the towers coming down when they saw Trump was winning.
Yeah.
It was one of the greatest nights ever. I know you're a big Trump supporter. You were down at the White House with Sarah Palin and Kid Rock.
Yeah.
How's he doing now? I mean, he got this, as he called it, a witch hunt. He tweeted out, I believe it is a witch hunt.
Were you able to see my Facebook Live at the break of dawn on November 8th? No, was it the 8th?
It was the day
Yeah,
after the
the
election.
day after,
Would be
yeah.
the 8th, yeah.
He was actually crying. We
Tears
were
of joy.
Trump
Tears of joy, yes.
We were with Trump till 3
What
in
a
the morning
turning
up
point.
in Grand Rapids, Michigan, and I saw the shit kickers, and I knew they didn't come out and vote for McCain and Romney because those goofballs brought a doily to a grenade fight, and they didn't believe in them. But I went wild on
For
them.
those people who don't recall, this is the night before the election.
Yeah.
Trump went to Michigan,
Yep.
and which surprised everybody, which is why Hillary lost, because she was too lazy. She stayed home. And that's why she lost. Forget the Russians. But Trump was there. So you were with him the night on election eve till 3 o'clock in the morning. You saw the blue-collar people who voted in the past for Obama come out and win. And so that next day, that night, when Hillary had the meltdown here in Manhattan, you were doing what? And how are you feeling?
I was celebrating that she had a meltdown because I felt responsible for at least part of it.
There you go.
Truth, logic, and common sense offended her and her constituents. I wallpaper and carpet bombed the media in Michigan, Wisconsin, and Pennsylvania because I was sick and tired that they were reliably blue states. And by the way, there are no blue states. The whole country is red except for the high-crime smudges of blue. Only liberal Democrat high-crime smudges are blue. You know, where the pimps, whores, and welfare brats party on our tax dollars.
Like here in
and
New
if that
York.
offends anybody out there, eat me. And so I saw the shit kickers unite, and they didn't vote for McCain.
Can you shit kickers? Because, and I don't mind you saying it. It's just that when you say the actual...
Okay, well, then I'll change.
I'll tell you what.
Pretend we're talking about betting and we're kicking sheets. I'll call them sheet kickers from now on.
Or ship with a P. Ship kickers.
Ship quackers.
We are governed by the
Well,
FCC,
those were the working hard, playing hard. My buddies in the UAW and my hunting buddies. I literally focused on the licensed deer hunters. Everybody pay attention. I know I'm in New York, and I know it's ABC radio, but listen to my words closely. Michigan, Wisconsin, and Pennsylvania were embarrassingly reliable blue states because the sheet kickers did not come out for McCain and Romney because McCain and Romney brought a doily to a grenade fight.
Right.
And they didn't believe in him. But by not coming out for even the less than ideal candidates, they really rolled the red carpet out for the Chicago community scam artist. And I just condemn them and attack them in a loving way, a tough love way in the media. And I said, how about this? Just the licensed deer hunters in Michigan, Wisconsin, and Pennsylvania, about 800,000 per state. Wow. And the NRA members in those states, you can't stay home and let this happen. Hillary Clinton will destroy the Constitution and the Supreme Court. She will go after your guns. She will hire sharpshooters to kill your deer instead of allowing you to. She will take more tax dollars to feed pimps, whores, and welfare brats. She will not secure the borders. She will continue to weaken the military. She is a rotten, evil, America-hating bitch. And if you don't come out and
corrupt,
you can say that.
See, I don't talk like that.
But you can say that.
I got you covered,
but I'm glad you said
They're
that, Shemane,
accurate
because
words. These are accurate words.
We know, and we agree with you there. We know how Ted feels, okay? But you're married to Ted. Was there any time during this campaign, or even during his presidency, where when he said "grab her by the pussy"? Any time during this campaign?
But do you really think he said that?
Well, I'm asking
that
you.
was
Did he do anything during this campaign where you thought he was like,
You know, we had the honor and privilege to go to the rallies and see the people in line, the families, the children at 11 p.m. at night. It was cold in Grand Rapids and in Detroit, and they were lined up outside the venue. I got goosebumps right now thinking about it. I've been to a lot of rock and roll concerts because of this guy, and I've never seen so much energy in one room, so much excitement, and families. Yes. I mean, it was beyond anything I've ever experienced in my entire life. To answer your question, no, there wasn't. I felt bad. What the problem is now, the squeaky wheel gets the oil, and all of the liberals are attacking it. We got so attacked by just visiting the White.
you got killed the next day. Yeah, you got killed.
I got a death threat.
You did too.
I got a death threat.
You did.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
I have a bullet with your name on it, the guy said.
They were killing you you and Kid Rock, and they were killing you the next day.
Great.
Because when the punks hate you, it proves
you got the right people pissed off, and that's a good thing.
If you're not pissing off the idiots, you're an idiot.
Is there anybody you're more angry at in the world today? I'm being serious. In the world today than the media in the United States?
Yes. I'm angry at working hard, playing hard Republicans and independents who sat on their ass and bought the propaganda ministry line of BS and didn't come out and do their absolute responsibility and American duty to vote, to research and vote. They opened the door for Barack Obama, the greatest scam artist, going to go down in history as an America-hating monster. And you know, I'm going to tell you the ultimate definition of that. These are not my words. I work with military charities every day. And the heroes of the military in every branch, I work with Delta Force and the Navy SEALs and the Army Rangers and Special Ops and the SEALs. And they would come to our camp and they train with us and we hunt and we sit around campfires, which is the most open, uninhibited communication you'll ever have is a campfire with the heroes of the military. And to the man and woman in the military, they expressed heartbroken that their commander-in-chief, Barack Obama, was the enemy of America, desecrating the Constitution, that their buddies came home in flag-draped coffins. And they were so angry and heartbroken that they couldn't wait for this punk to get out of the White House.
Well, he didn't have their back. He didn't have the cops' back.
None.
So let me show you.
Or Israel, for that matter.
Maybe this picture of Bradley Manning presently, this will change your mind. Doesn't that warm your heart?
It's Planet of the Apes cuckoo's nest stuff.
You talk about compromising the nation's intelligence. He got people killed of putting out classified information that they're alleging Trump did. This guy got people killed, and the president pardoned him, and now he's out, with a fancy new haircut to be being celebrated. He also pardoned a traitor who was released, this Puerto Rican terrorist.
Obama.
You can't make this stuff up.
Killed.
You can't make this stuff
Right.
up. Everybody knows I worked with law enforcement very closely forever. And someday I'll tell you some stories.
With Shaq? Not with Shaq yet, though, right? Because he's going to be a sheriff one day.
Who's that now?
Shaquille O'Neal. He's going to be a sheriff.
Well, you never know.
He's a good guy.
He's a good guy's on my side.
Yeah.
And we heard over and over again from these heroes of law enforcement. They put their lives on the line every day. 99% of them are absolute heroes. And they would furrow their brow and shuffle their feet and go, how in God's name can the commander-in-chief constantly side with the thugs who are ruining lives every day? This president sided with thugs. He put his DOJ out to help the thugs every time.
How
instead
about
of the
this,
cops.
Ted Nugent? A bunch of Christians get beheaded in Libya, and the next morning he attends a prayer breakfast and tells Christians, don't get on your high horse. Remember you guys did during the Crusades?
You don't got to tell him.
You got to be the lowest form of life to be the commander-in-chief and side with the evil instead of the good. Right. It's indescribable.
Don't get off your high horse, he says to the Christians.
But all you have to do is listen to Maxine Waters and Nancy Pelosi struggle to form syllables.
Well, we play that
much
every
less
day,
any common sense.
Yeah.
And you got to go. So if you have a Democrat friend, I don't have any. I did have some, but I fixed them. I go listen to Nancy Pelosi talk. Listen to the words she's saying, and you tell me you're on that bitch's team. How in God's name can you live with yourself? You want your daughter to grow up to be this dishonest?
No.
This outrageously nasty and deceitful? You have to check your soul in at the door to be a Democrat.
So our guy right now, President Trump, he's under a little bit of a siege right now.
Good.
The media has that they actually did blink a little bit. This guy Rosenstein appoints a special counsel. It was unnecessary, but it might be a benefit in the end. So how does he then Trump cuts through all the bull crap and he tweets something out? This is a witch hunt.
It is.
Which it exactly is. Now he's going to Saudi Arabia, Israel. He's going to see the Pope. How do you think he's doing, and how do you think he's going to hold up under all this stuff?
I think he's doing great, and the manifestation of his greatness is how he's pissing off all the bad guys. I mean, the propaganda ministry, who doesn't know that you can't trust the media? I mean, I've been dealing with, I'm glad they finally identified fake news. The fake news about me for the last 40-some years has been just phenomenal. They claim I'm a draft dodger. I didn't dodge the draft. It's always in the media. Draft dodger. I didn't dodge the draft. I got my draft card and I never got called up. You know how you can tell I never got called up?
How?
Because we didn't win the war. I'd have won the son of a bitch. And they claim I'm a pedophile as I come home from my 27th year of the Ted Nugent Camp for Kids charity, and Shemane and I host terminally ill little boys and girls constantly because they want to hunt with Uncle Ted. But according to the media, I'm a pedophile.
I never heard any of these allegations.
No, either have I.
Oh, you got go to Huffington Post or Southern Poverty Law Center.
We will.
I never go to those sites, so that's why.
No, I want to check them out. But before we do say goodbye, and you guys were great, let's end where we started. Shemane Nugent, 4 minutes a day, rock and roll your way to happy. Be happier, healthier, more prosperous, and live the life of your dreams. You want this book to tell people what? Why are people going to buy this book?
Because there's little things that you can do to change your life. And no matter which side of the fence you're on, we can all do one thing for ourselves, and that's stay healthy so that we can live the life of our dreams, be healthier and more prosperous, and be happy and keep dancing.
And
simple stuff.
Man, and she just doesn't talk the talk. She walks the walk.
Yeah,
Shemane Nugent is
Thank you.
gorgeous.
I like to walk behind
You guys are
her.
great.
Ted Nugent on the Bernie and Sid show. Ted Nugent.
Thanks, Sid. Thanks, Bernie.
Never
God
shut.
bless you.
God bless you,
Thank
brother.
you, Flipper.
Thank you.